interior on my Cadillac, making them sick. Please give them a bucket, they compute.
Alright man, so today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite sneaker brands. Alright, so it's no surprise that I am into a wide variety of sneaker brands, so I thought it would be fun to list my top 5 favorite sneaker brands right now. I've been doing a lot of unboxing videos recently and stuff like that, so I thought it would be cool to switch it up, talk about these brands and why I like them. So number 5 on my list is pretty interchangeable. If you asked me a few years ago, it definitely would have been New Balances, and then Vans has been in the mix a lot recently, but I gotta say right now at number 5, I'm gonna go with Saucony. I've been into Sauconys for a while now, well before they ever sent me anything, and I always liked the direction that they were going in. Good quality materials, affordable prices, solid sneaker models that are retro runners. Runners have always been something that I'm into, and I love what Saucony does on their collaborations, their inline stuff. It feels like everything always has meaning. They don't just throw everything out there. There's inspiration behind a lot of their stuff, whether it's a collaboration or inline, but when they do collaborate, they let whoever they're collaborating with go crazy. This is a Sneaker Freaker collab. Really like these joints right here. The Shadow 6000 is my favorite Saucony model, and these are probably one of my top 10 favorite sneakers in my entire collection. I should make that video. If you're into runners, you know what's up with these. This is a Dixon trainer from a couple years ago with camo canvas and red fleece on the inner lining. Really cool sneaker. And then I have these tan joints that I showed a long time ago, and these don't drop until fall 2017. So everyone that's been asking me about these, it's crazy. This one shoe I showed in my top 10 sneakers under $100, and people still tweet me, leave comments asking when these are dropping. This year in the fall, these will be dropping for about $100, and they don't disappoint. I'm sorry that I showed these to you guys so early, but Saucony looks out, man. They really do. They sent me samples, and I shared them a little bit too early with you guys, but these will be dropping. All right, so getting into number 4, we gotta talk about Nike. For the sake of this video, I'm referring to Nike and Jordan as two different brands. So most of you are probably like, what? You're crazy. Nike at number 4? Listen, man. Nike hasn't done a whole lot to move me as far as new models go really in a while. Like, there's some things that I've tried out from them, but I haven't been moved as far as wanting a new model from them, and they're Nike, man. I expect so much more from them in the lifestyle department, at least. I'm not talking about running. I'm not talking about the shoes your mom and dad wear. I'm talking about us, people that like the lifestyle sneakers, and Nike just really hasn't moved me on that front in a minute. I want a new model from Nike, something crazy to compete with Boost or something ahead of Boost. Nike should be leading the way. Everything they drop should be innovative, so I really hope there's some new Nike models on the forefront. With that said though, Nike's classics are classic, and there's really not much that can compete with those, so those sneakers will always get me. Air Force Ones, these are an absolute must. The flax joints that look like Timberland boots, they knocked these out of the park. Then of course, I'm a big Air Max fan, and these caused a lot of hype recently, but like I said, I got these from Finish Line for 90 bucks. I used my reward coupons when they dropped, but then they sat on the site for months. It's funny to see people thinking about paying $400 or $500 resale prices for the ones that just dropped last week when these sat for so long. Yes, the shape and material is slightly different, but these aren't that bad, man. These really aren't that bad. They get the job done. Same deal with these 97s, the silver bullets. I think these went on sale on Finish Line, and then I used my reward coupon. So it's crazy to see the hype around these as well. Prior to this hyped up release, these were one of the biggest sleepers in the Air Max line as far as OG colorways go. Actually, I still have the receipt. I paid $134 for these joints, $134. And then they've dropped some pretty cool boots as well. Other brands have since bit this military style, but Nike was one of the first to do it in a fashion forward type way, and I've got a good amount of wear out of these joints, so I like these a lot as well. All right, number 3 should be no surprise to any of you. We've got Puma. So in my opinion, Puma is wildly underrated, and I could talk about this forever, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. As far as a whole catalog goes, Puma has so much to offer. Retro styles, new styles, good clothing, collabs, like everything I look for, they have to offer. When I put on a pair of Pumas, I think that they complement my outfit very well, and I'm always happy when I'm wearing a pair. Like I was saying about Nike, as far as them needing to drop some new models and change things up, Puma has been doing that. These joints right here are a solid new addition to their line. Are they groundbreaking? Are they the first ones to drop a shoe with knit and an ankle collar like this? Absolutely not. But the way that they executed it is really dope. I love the branding around the ankle. These look great on feet. The knit is nice. And then like I said about Saucony, a lot of their stuff comes at an affordable price point. People always assume that if a shoe goes on sale, it's no good. People don't want it. I never think like that. Like, judge it for yourself. Look at pictures, look at online stuff. Do you think it's dope? Do you think you have an outfit that will look good with these sneakers? That's the way I approach things, and I thought that these will look really good with some tapered sweatpants, and they do. I wear them often, and I catch looks in these things. People are like, what are those? Those are pretty cool, especially with the branding on the side. They stick out, and they didn't just stop there. There are so many different models that they've been dropping recently. These Limitless joints right here are crack. The Ignite cushioning system is not like Boost, it's not like Alpha Bounce, but it's close, man. Like, it is a very comfortable shoe to have. I really like the branding again on here. I love the direction that they're going with these shoes, and I think that this summer there's gonna be a lot more stuff coming from Puma. Put all the hype aside, just judge for yourself and think, would you wear these? Now that's the new stuff. The older stuff is just as good in my opinion. A lot of the collabs are crazy, and then their retro sneakers are dope as well. These joints right here are some of the best Pumas of all time. The Ronnie Fieg collab, top 10 in my collection. Absolute banger these joints are, man. Springtime, breaking these out. These are crazy as well. The Clyde shoe made in Italy. Like, what sneaker brand do you know that is making kicks in Italy? None. Like, really none. These will never go out of style. They're just like a Chuck Taylor, just like an Air Force One. Like, they're not going anywhere. Vintage box as well, they did it right. Also, think about this real quick. Just think about it. When Kanye West left Nike and he went to Adidas, do you think Adidas was the only brand that he talked to? Do you think he was like, all right, I'm leaving Nike and I'm going right to Adidas? No. Do you think he met with Puma and talked with them about his line? I'm gonna say yes. I'd be willing to bet a lot that he did. And for whatever reason that didn't work out, I don't know. But if he brought those same ideas and designs to Puma, would Puma be where Adidas is now? Some of you guys are like, no, impossible. Those Yeezy designs that he brought to Adidas don't look like any other Adidas sneakers. Who's to say he couldn't have brought those to Puma and had Pumas release that look just like that? It's very possible. So just think about that. What he's done for Adidas is incredible, and then they've released a lot of sneakers alongside that to coincide with the hype. Who's to say Puma couldn't have done the same thing? So just keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. But with all that said, at number 3, Puma. All right, and at number 2, we have a brand that is absolutely on fire, and I think it's gonna be like that for a while. You know the deal. 3 stripes, Adidas. So where do I begin with Adidas? I gotta say this, admittingly, I haven't always been into Adidas. There's been a couple things that I've liked, but I've definitely enjoyed the new products that they've been putting out. I love the Yeezy line. I like their classics. I've been into Stan Smiths for a while, but outside of that, you know, they kind of drew me in with the tubulars, and some of the other models like the ZX Flux was hitting for a little while, and I just got into that when they started expanding their line and paying attention to lifestyle a lot more. Most of you already know what's up with Stan Smiths. I have plenty of pairs, plenty, and they are my go-to summer sneaker. So that is a classic Adidas that I always look forward to wearing, and that's never gonna change. And then you've got the obvious, the most hyped sneakers in the game, the Yeezy line. People go crazy for these things, man, me included, and I think his designs have been killer. Everything he's dropped has been really dope, and I'm not just saying that because of the hype. Like, I really do think that this is one of the best new sneaker models in a long time. These are crazy. I wish they would drop more 750s, kind of like what they're doing with the 350s. I don't know where these have been, but I need more colorways bad. These things are so good. With a pair of distressed denim, like, there's nothing else that competes with these as far as a stylish shoe goes. Like, really top 5 in my sneaker collection right here. On top of that, great design by Kanye. You've got the Boost technology, which is obviously incorporated in his sneakers. And these right here, dude, these right here, this exact shoe changed the game. Totally changed the game. You know, I think a lot of brands were sleeping on the fact that sneakerheads don't care about comfort, and that they only care how the sneaker looks and how rare it is. So when these hit the scene and they were stylish, sought after, and very, very comfortable, obviously the most comfortable sneaker that's out right now, you know, it was more than a home run. It was a grand slam, and I will never forget the first time I saw these on feet. I was in New York City for All-Star Weekend, and I saw someone at the Adidas store wearing these. It was like a tractor beam. I was like, those are insane. And I had to get a pair. I eventually did, and then I got like 3 or 4 other pairs. Every other brand is trying to drop a knit, comfortable shoe right now to compete with these, and it's not gonna happen. So really crazy what Adidas has done with this shoe. The NMD model is really popping right now. I don't know how long that's gonna last. That might fizzle, but anytime they do a collab on it or change it up, you know, it's gonna be a pretty sought after sneaker. I hope they continue to release new models like this and use prime knit in different ways. The Pusha T line has been very cool as well. I love that collab. I hope Adidas stays on the same track that they are on right now, because they're killing it, and they could very well be my favorite sneaker brand next year. All right, and at number 1, numero uno, this should be no surprise, we've got Jordan brand. So let's just talk about Jordans real quick. You know, for a lot of people, these sneakers are nostalgic. They bring back memories of their childhood. Not really for me. I did not have these when I was growing up. I really had to wait until I had my own money to get a pair of these, but when I did save up and I did get a pair, this brand is what hooked me and brought me into sneakers, and the hype that they created around their kicks is now what Adidas is trying to do and what Puma hopes to do, you know, stuff like that. Jordan brand is the originator of hype around sneakers, and they've done it so well. And they've got the product to back it up. A lot of people are like, I can't believe that you're buying the same shoes over and over again. Dude, what are you doing with Boost? That's the same white midsole on every single shoe. Jordan models 1 through 14 are solid. After that, it's not really for me, but some people do like those. So you have 14 solid models to mess around with. Certainly you prefer some models over others, but still, there are people out there that might disagree with you. But what I'm saying is that there are 14 very popular Jordan retro models, and they can switch up the colors, materials, as many times as they want to, and those are gonna continue to do well. I've heard some people say that Jordans fell off because they don't sell out. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's very clear that they've upped the inventory and amount of pairs that they're manufacturing. People used to bitch and complain that there weren't enough pairs and there should be pairs for everyone. And now that there are, people are complaining that there's too many. So like, you sound like a hype beast when you say something like that. I think it's amazing. The fact that I can get any Jordan retro sneaker I want without hassle, that's a good thing. On top of those GR sneakers, they're doing a bunch of other stuff like collabs and premium releases, stuff that always catches my eye. The OVO sneakers, the Dawn C sneakers, these cause joints, like, what? The same people that say Jordans are dead are gonna be glued to the computer screen trying to get these joints when they drop. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Jordan is still on fire. There's plenty of people that don't mess with Jordans, but they mess with the ones. These have been so good, and the reason why they're so good is the Nike Air on the tongue and the cut of the sneaker. Prior to the OG ones releasing, the fit and the materials and the tongue of the Jordan ones was not good. It looked super boxy. Some of the tongues were leather and it was hard to lace them up. The height, how they're cut, the way that you can actually lace them up and only see the Nike Air, is perfect. That Jumpman looks so awkward on the tongue. This is a classic sneaker, and this is how it should be done. Most of the leather that they use on these is pretty nice. They're a little bit harder to get, so if you're into the hype for whatever reason, you know, you get that with these. The Fragment ones are some of the most sought after Jordan 1s right behind these joints. I'm very happy to see what they've done with this model. And then if you're into designer sneakers, they took a classic Jordan model and put premium leather on it. Yes, the price tag is up there, but it's competing with designer sneakers. This leather is super nice, some of the best leather I've ever seen on a Jordan Retro. Also, they brought back the Nike Air, the classic original versions of some of these sneakers. So they're giving the consumer a lot, and I think what they're doing is awesome, man. Like, I fiend wearing Jordan Retros. I don't fiend wearing any other sneakers. Like, if I don't wear Jordans for a little while, I'm like, I need to wear a pair of Jordans. Some Jordans will look good with this. Like, I just want a classic pair of J's on my feet at least once a week. Something about rocking a dope pair of Jordans just gives me a different feeling than other sneakers do. So forever, Jordans are going to be in my rotation. I hope all the brands I mentioned on this list continue to step it up, because it makes it better for the consumer when they're putting out the best product that they can. Definitely leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite sneaker brand is and why. Let's chop it up. Leave a comment for sure. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. I know it's different than a lot of the other ones I've put out there. Subscribe if you're new, and go check out some of my older videos. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all Eddie Win Kicks. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.